Today I'm joined by one of the most dominant big men of his era. He's a player whose impact on the game can still be felt today. He's a 2020 NBA champion, 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA selection, and a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Just this month, he was enshrined in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, solidifying his place among the greatest to ever play the sport of basketball. Now, he's going to be heading to New York City to be honored at the 40th Annual Great Sports Legend Dinner, an event that brings together icons from across the sports world to raise awareness and funds in the fight to cure paralysis. Dwight Howard is the name, and he's with us right now. Dwight, how you doing, man?
I am amazing. I'm grateful to be here and grateful to have this, to be honored for the hard work and the effort that I put in on the basketball court and off the court. So I really appreciate it.
No, man, it's good. It's going to be a good vibe on the 29th of September at that Legends Dinner. But I want to talk to you about some things. First of all, congratulations on your enshrinement into the Naismith Basketball Hall of
Thank you.
Fame. Yeah, it was
Thank
really
you so
great to see you
much.
get that honor and see you there as a player I've watched for some time. But what does that honor mean to you personally after everything that you've achieved in your career? I just listed all those accomplishments. What did it mean to you to get into the Hall of Fame?
Oh man, it's like really getting into heaven. It's
Mm.
like, hearing your name called in the Lamb's Book of Life, and you're getting up there and God is saying, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's how it felt when I first got the call. Is that Jesus saying, hey son, it's time to come home. And then actually getting the jacket and everything was like, really getting into heaven, all the hard work, my purpose on earth, my purpose on the court has been fulfilled. And it was so amazing to be there with my family, my friends, and everyone who came out just to support me on my day. It was really amazing.
Yeah, it looked amazing. And, when I was watching your enshrinement speech, I could see how much that it meant to you, to get this award, to get to this point, right, in your journey. But when you look back on your
Yes.
journey, right, because you've had an interesting journey, right? You go from being a number one pick overall, you eventually was an NBA champion in 2020, now you're a Hall of Famer. Do you have, this is tough, I know we're asking for one moment. Do you have one moment or a
Mhm.
couple of moments that stand out to you the most about this journey?
Oh man. For me, I'm a person that always lived in the moment. Always stayed right directly in the moment. And every single moment that I had in my career, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, has all shaped me into who I am today, and it's made me into a Hall of Famer. I've had some great moments with teammates, like being in the Olympics, sharing the court, playing with Kobe Bryant, just playing with LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, winning the championship. All those moments are amazing. I would say my time in Orlando uh, was so special. Uh, I miss those days. The fans, going to the gym 2, 3 in the morning, practicing and seeing all the fans outside our practice facility, watching me practice and talking to me and motivating me. Man, that was a great time to be alive.
Nah, it was a great time. It was fun watching you in a Magic uniform. I know a lot of people enjoyed that. But there's been a lot of talk, Dwight, about how your prime years, we can talk about those Orlando years, were
Yeah.
underappreciated, especially after you were not named to the NBA's top 75 team. Do you feel like your career has been underrated by the fans or the media, especially when you didn't make that top 75 team?
I think more so the media.
Mm.
I think they done a number on, making it seem like what I've done in my career, what I've accomplished on the court wasn't as shouldn't be celebrated, and it's really crazy, it's like the things that have happened off the court, situations, they have kind of taken more of attention than the stuff that I was doing on the floor. And that's one thing that I really don't like is like trying to destroy somebody's testimony um, in a weird way, because I've never been mean to a fan. I've always been, a person to have fun on the court, enjoy the game. But it's like, certain things that have been said in my past and done that has taken more of the spotlight than, my basketball career, which I've done some amazing things. And when I've done amazing things on the court, like I've had games where I've had 30 points and 30 rebounds, and the media has taken stuff like that and said, well, he should have been doing that. He should have been there. So it's kind of like made people been like, yeah, that's right. You know, we should have done this and done that. And, you know, that sucks. But at the end of the day, being in the Hall of Fame, knowing that it's only 450 people who've ever existed in life who are in the Hall of Fame, and I'm one of them, you know, it's just, it takes away everything else.
Now, hey, Dwight, you got to say that with your chest, right? They can't take that away from you. You're in the Hall of Fame. You have all the
Yeah,
accomplishments. I thought it was, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was ridiculous you weren't on the top 75 list. I thought it was ridiculous. I
I
think when
did
you,
too.
you're good. I'm glad you're with me. When you did all that you've done, and I listed all your accomplishments at the beginning of this chat, it's crazy if you're not on the top 75 list. But like you said, you were in the Hall of Fame.
It is.
First ballot Hall of Famer, too, we should add. First ballot Hall of Famer. And
I think when I get older,
yeah.
I think when I get older, like maybe like 60, then I think they'll go back and say, man, remember Dwight Howard when he played and all this stuff? I think, you know, it'll be a little bit different like that. You know, Dominique Wilkins was somebody who went through, you know, some things like that where it took him a long time to start getting the good recognition because of the era that he was playing in. He played against some really good competition. And I think a lot of times he was overshadowed because of the Jordans and the Larry Birds and the um, Isaiah Thomases and the people he had to play in that era. But now everybody's like, man, human highlight film, he averaged 30. He was right up under
Mm-hmm.
Jordan for the most points. You know, he could have won the scoring champ. He did all these different things. He tore his Achilles, then came back and played overseas and won championships. So, you know, he finally got some respect and he got a statue in Atlanta. So, you know, one day it'll happen.
That's a great point and a great comp with Dominique Wilkins. You're right, but they definitely won't leave you off the top 100 team when we
They
get to
better
that.
not. I'm
They
going to
better
the
not.
NBA office and the
There we go.
ESPN office, and I'm causing a riot.
There we go. We got to talk to somebody if that happens. We got to do that. So we got to talk about the Great Sports Legends Dinner on September 29th here in New York, right? What does it mean for you to be included? Because there's so many other icons that are going to be at this dinner, right? And just what does it mean to you, and also to be honored and called a legend? I don't think anybody ever thinks they're going to be called a legend. So when you
Yeah,
are
it's
among other
crazy.
legends and you get called a legend, what does that mean to you?
Man, it makes me feel like I'm getting real old, you know, because people say, man, you're a legend. I'm like, yeah, you have to be old to be a legend. I don't think you can be a young legend. So, you know, it's really a blessing, man, just to be celebrated, you know, to be honored, you know, especially while you're alive to get those flowers and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm so grateful for it. Grateful to be among the rest of the legends who are getting honored. Dominique Wilkins, you know, all these legends that'll be there. Being in New York, this is a dream come true, man. I know I'm a young guy, but you know, all these things that have been happening just really just been a blessing, and I'm really thankful.
I like it. You're not Dwight. You're not going to get me to call you old, but legend. I'll call you legend. I'm not going to call you old.
Thank you.
That's not going to happen here. I want to talk about something because when I think about you as a player, I always think about defense, right? And how
Mhm.
much pride do you take, or did you take, in being a three-time Defensive Player of the Year and somebody who changed the way that teams had to prepare, you know, with their offense for you defensively in your era? How much pride do you take in that?
Oh man, that was everything for me. I wanted to make sure every time I stepped on the court, teams feared coming in the paint. Teams feared our team because when I first got to the Magic, we were like the laughing stock of the league. You know, everybody was just always, you know, oh, we going to Disney World. We can take the night off. We don't have to worry about playing the Magic. And we wanted to change that perception. And once we did, you know, we just took off. And I felt like I could have got Defensive Player of the Year every year, and that was my goal.
I like that. I like that focus. Three-time Defensive Player of the Year. Not easy to do. Not so many people have won it that many times. I got a couple more things for you, Dwight. You played against so many great players over the years. Who
Mhm.
were the toughest matchups that you ever faced in the
Oh
NBA? Who gave
man,
you a problem where you were like, man, this guy's a problem if I see him tonight?
really, it was just playing against all the great teams. You know, I played against the era where I was playing against the Pistons when they had just won the championships in '04 with the Bad Boy Pistons and the new Bad Boy Pistons with Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace and Chauncey Billups and then playing against the Kobe team with Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum. I'm sorry, man, Dirk Nowitzki, KGs, the Tim Duncans, the Spurs. We were playing against some actual awesome teams, man. And that was, I think, that era of basketball was so crazy because I don't think people understand how hard it was to dominate in that era, to be successful. There wasn't guys averaging over, that close to 20 points back when I first came into the league. So just seeing the growth of the game and stuff like that has been crazy.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. You played in an era with a lot of good big men there. You mentioned some of them, and Dirk and KG and those guys. I want to talk to you about a current team here in New York, the Knicks. They were 2 wins away from the finals last season, Dwight. They
Man,
made some changes, new coach, got themselves a deeper bench, or at least it looks like that right now. Do you believe this Knicks group has what it takes to bring a championship to New York?
man, it's tough. And it doesn't get easier. When you make it to the finals, you assume like, man, I can make it back. I know what it takes now. I just did it. And it gets harder. So hopefully the Knicks come back with, some that same passion, that same energy, and that same effort, and they be consistent for the whole year because it is very tough to get to the finals in the NBA. Not only do you have to be in great shape, you got to be kind of lucky. All the stars got to be in line for you to really get to the finals in the NBA and win. It takes a lot. And I thought what the Knicks did last year was amazing. I just think down the stretch, they all got tired.
Mm.
They all got tired. They didn't realize how much it took to actually get to the finals. Physically is one part, but the mental part of it, you get tired. You get more tired mentally than physical because the physical part, you're already dead beat. You're dead by the time you get to the finals. You're just really playing off will and how much dog you got inside of you. So I really love their team, and I hope that they get back and do a great job.
Yeah, the fans here are hoping for that. They were 2 wins away last year. We'll see what they will do. Last thing for me, Dwight, for you, as somebody who's been honored as one of the greats, you talked about you getting in the Hall of Fame and then this Legends Dinner. What do you hope that people will say about your basketball legacy? Let's say we already went to the future a little bit, 20, 30, even 40 years from now. And I guess, what do you believe is Dwight Howard's legacy?
My legacy, a player that has the most faith out of anybody. That's big for me. Is my belief, my confidence. So I want people to take away from that is just if you believe that you can do anything, you put your mind to it and your heart to it, then it's possible. I believe that I could soar. I believe that I can jump as high as I can and fly and dunk and do all the crazy things that I did in my career, and I put in the work to go do it. So that's what I want to be remembered for. Somebody that said that he was going to go do it, and he went out there and did it, and he made it happen. Man of his word. And for my whole career, I worked hard, I dominated, and I did it with a smile on my face. And you know, that's what I want from people, players, and anybody that like to live this life and understand that you only get one time around the track. So whatever you do, whatever whatever you do in life, do it wholeheartedly, and God will bless you. And that's what He did for me.
Nah, definitely did a blessed career. Dwight, I have to say, whenever I think of you, beside the defense, all the dunks, we just saw the crazy dunks you put on people, you always did it with a
Yeah.
smile on your face. And Dwight Howard, he's going to be honored in New York City, September 29th, at the 40th Annual Great Sports Legend Dinner. The great Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, needs to be on the top 100 list for the NBA when it comes out. My guy, Dwight
Hot
Howard. Dwight,
75, the new one.
there we go. Yeah, there we go. We need to make that happen. Dwight, I appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.